Why are there so many earthquakes in the world today? Or is there a terrible danger approaching the world? So will the world be destroyed? What do scientists think? Today in this video, I will present several important theories. Keep watching the video. For centuries, scientists searched for patterns beneath our feet, but what they recently uncovered has shaken even the most fearless experts. People around the world have been wondering why earthquakes seem to be happening more frequently today, and whether this signals that a terrible danger is approaching. To answer that question, we must travel back into history, deep beneath the Earth's crust and far beyond what ordinary eyes can see. Because the story of today's earthquakes actually began thousands of years ago, long before modern civilization took shape. In 1906, when San Francisco collapsed under a devastating 7.9 magnitude earthquake, American scientists thought they were facing one of the worst disasters the world would ever see. They quickly concluded that a major fault line had slipped, releasing energy built up over decades. But what they didn't know then was that the ground beneath North America had already started behaving in different ways, shifting in unusual ways that wouldn't be understood until over a century later. Jump forward to the 1960s. Deep-sea mapping teams working in the Pacific Ocean discovered something astonishing. The Earth's tectonic plates were not moving at a constant pace. Some years they shifted only a few centimeters, and in other years they lunged forward dramatically. This meant earthquakes were not random. They were part of a much larger rhythm, a rhythm Earth had been following for millions of years. But the strangest part? Scientists discovered that the rhythm was slowly speeding up. By the 1990s, satellites had become precise enough to measure even the smallest ground movements. Researchers at NASA and the U.S. Geological Survey began noticing that the Pacific Plate, one of the largest on Earth, was starting to accelerate. Entire coastlines were subtly changing shape. Cliffs in California were edging closer to the ocean. Alaska's mountains were rising faster than expected. It was as if the planet was adjusting itself for something. Then came 2004, when a massive 9.1 earthquake near Indonesia triggered one of the deadliest tsunamis in human history. 300,000 lives were swept away in hours. What scientists found later stunned them even more. The earthquake had slightly changed the tilt of the Earth. It literally made the planet wobble. The day became a fraction of a second shorter. And that wobble, the smallest of shivers, started affecting the distribution of the Earth's internal pressure. From that moment, global earthquake activity began a slow but measurable increase. Around 2010, a breakthrough study revealed something the scientific world had long suspected but never proven. The Earth's inner core, a sphere of blazing hot iron, doesn't spin at the same speed as the rest of the planet. Every few decades, it slows down, stops, and then reverses direction. When the core shifts rotation, it slightly alters gravitational balance, affecting the mantle, Earth's thick semi-liquid layer. And when the mantle moves, the tectonic plates riding on top of it shift too. This discovery led to a shocking conclusion. The Earth had entered a new phase of core slowdown. And historically, each time this slowdown occurred, the number of major earthquakes increased for 5 to 7 years. But that was only part of the puzzle. The real alarm sounded in 2020, when multiple global monitoring stations detected deep tremors, earthquakes so far below the surface that humans never feel them. These silent quakes were happening more often and in clusters. Silent quakes usually mean that stress is building up inside tectonic plates, preparing for larger events. They're like whispers before a loud thunderclap. And something else was happening too, something even more mysterious. In 2021, researchers studying ancient ice cores discovered traces of unusual radioactive particles, particles that originate from deep space events. When they matched the timeline of these cosmic particles with historical earthquake records, an eerie pattern emerged. Large earthquakes tended to follow periods of intense cosmic radiation hitting Earth. Not immediately, but years later, as if the planet slowly absorbed the energy. If that connection is real, then today's earthquakes may have been triggered by a powerful cosmic event detected in 2014, when Earth was hit by one of the strongest gamma-ray bursts ever recorded. At the time, it only made headlines for a day. But beneath the surface, Earth may have been feeling its effects for a decade. So the question is, does this mean something terrible is approaching? The truth is both fascinating and reassuring. Earth is not breaking apart, nor is a world-ending event on the horizon. Instead, our planet is going through a natural cycle, one that has repeated itself countless times throughout history. A cycle controlled by the movement of plates, the rotation of the core, the wobble of the planet, and possibly even bursts of energy from distant stars. These cycles sometimes align, creating periods of increased global shaking. That alignment is happening now. It is unusual, but not apocalyptic. The most astonishing part of this story is how much we are still discovering. The ground beneath us holds secrets older than humanity, and every tremor is a reminder that Earth is alive, constantly shifting and evolving. While large earthquakes will always be dangerous, they are also messages from a planet that has survived billions of years of change. So yes, there are many earthquakes today. But no, a terrible danger is not approaching the world. Instead, we are witnessing the latest chapter in Earth's long, mysterious, and awe-inspiring story. A story written in stone, pressure, and time, unfolding beneath our feet every single day. Let me know how you liked today's video by commenting, and subscribe to the channel to get the next video. Stay well, stay healthy, and best wishes.